continuing from what you said, especially in this Gurgaon example and the example in Karnataka, Mr. Dawani, I want to talk to you about literacy, because that is one thing which will again be greatly affected. So we will, I don't know, hopefully soon see, I don't know if we need an Indian Coursera or Indian edX, but maybe Indian content could be available on these websites. I believe Ericsson and Plan India launched the digital learning centers in September. Could you tell us a little bit about that? And do you think that more of corporate India needs to step in to help, like what Dell is doing, what Ericsson is doing, more of these to set up? I mean, why not? Why can't a manufacturer, a cement manufacturer with a plant in Rajasthan set up a center just outside his factory, so it's helping the local village children learn this? That sounds like a good idea.
I think, just to quote a very famous Swedish economist, when he was reviewing some OECD figures, and this was 3 years back, by 2032, India will have 460 million middle class people, and that's the point of inflection when it will cross China. And when he saw that figure, he was back calculating, saying that is this right, or have we missed a decimal or something like that. And then he came down with a complete hypothesis, saying that yes, the figure is right. It will be subject to educating your populace. Infrastructure will follow, investment will come, water will flow, sun will be there, but education needs to be provided. And that's when we took that whole platform. And being a Swedish DNA, we said let us focus on that and see what we can do for the country. Then we broke down education into saying that which is the portion that we need to give the most amount of attention. Largely, intuitively, people go and say that let's build infrastructure for education. Schools banao, schools mein toilets banao, and all those things are there. Believe it or not, 98% of this problem is solved by some phenomenally good governmental interventions. The second one is saying that okay, now there is infrastructure, there are no teachers there, or there are teachers but they do not have the appropriate amount of quality of disseminating education. And the third one is saying that even if there are teachers and they are teaching something, the child is not absorbing what he has to learn, and therefore we need a mechanism to monitor. So these are the 3 buckets of education problem.
So my final question will be to both the mobile operators before we go in for some audience questions. I want to talk to you about the call drop issue, and that is something that is, we can see what the reaction to that is. So yes, we all know about the TRAI rules that says from the 1st of Jan 2016, you got to pay 1 rupee per call drop, capped at 3 rupees, etc., etc. But is this, again, what's your view on this? Is this going to help? Is this going to put the telecom industry on a back step? What's the thing? First you, Mr. Mukherjee, and then Mr. Balaji.
You're really putting me on the spot.
That's my job.
Is there any way that this call is going to drop when I speak?
Don't make me open my mouth. I'm not saying anything.
All right. But on a more serious note, I think this call drop issue is a reality. It is. There's no question about the fact that there was a period of time when call drops were severe. But it was a problem which is primarily that of Bombay and Delhi. Right? It has happened for a multitude of reasons, and I don't want to necessarily start going into a laundry list, to use his phrase, of what the reasons are for call drops. But let me just put it this way. There has been a huge amount of investment which has been made by all the operators. And I think there was a report which was released by the TRAI chairman recently, over the course of the last 48 hours, which the minister has commented on and said that a fair amount of work has been done. And of course, naturally, there is more which he is expecting and which is continuing. So that is happening.
Thank you so much for that, gentlemen. We'll take some audience questions. If there are any questions, if you could put your hand up.
Okay, my name is Abhijit Chatterjee. I am from Abhi Technologies. As you left on your last question, I start from there. The technology is not that efficient where we can say, okay, we are happy with the services, whatever we are paying for that. Starting from network issue, call drop, and then the 3G service, internet services. Whatever internet we are getting, 3G is actually is 2G services we are getting. What are the strategies you people are actually implementing so that we can get the at-par services what other countries are also getting?
Okay. I just want you to remember 2 things. Number one, today we have approximately 1 billion connections. Reality, right? It's happened in the last 20 years. Number two, there is no wireline service to talk of. When you look at any other country in the world, I can bet you that there is at least a 60% penetration of wireline as well, in addition to the wireless.
Thank you for that. Quick question to you. What mobile network do you use?
I use Airtel as well as Reliance.
Switch. Well, we're just about out of time, so thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on the panel. Thank you so much, and please let's give a round of applause to our panelists. Thank you so much.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.